Hey everyone, this is Rick. I just wanted to share an experience of customer, friend, and viewer of the channel. His name's Jay Hayes. He said it's okay to share his name in these photos. So he writes Tales of Suspense number 75. This is March 1966. His initial report is the exterior of the cover and interior page have tanning. So there's the exterior there, and I don't think I have the picture of the interior page. I'll show that in a bit. He writes the front and back cover light treated for 3 hours, both at the same time. So he did the front and the back at the same time, and misted with 3% peroxide each hour. So that's 3 hours at 3% peroxide. That's the standard household peroxide concentration. 36 inner pages, light treated 2 hours per page, so 2 hours at a time. So he did all those. And lastly, use a 2-inch painting brush to evenly spread the misted peroxide on each page, which actually is a good idea. Keeps those little dots from forming under a microscope. This may not be necessary, just experimenting. Front and back cover all interior pages humidified, pressed at 140 degrees for 15 minutes, then allowed to cool in the press for 4 hours. Then he writes, see attached images for before and after. So I'll show you here. So here's it before of the cover, and here's his after of the cover. Oh, it's smaller there. I'll see if I can make that bigger. There we go. So there's a little, again, we'll go before and after. Okay. Then we have the back or the rear of the book. Looks like this before and after. So before, after. Okay. Then he has his interior pages. We'll make those a little bigger too so you can see before and after. So I'll go before and after. I'll run through them really quickly just in case you didn't see before, after, before, after, before, after. So what does he report? He reports the tanning of the cover and inner pages indicates significant aging of the paper. The hydrogen peroxide and light treatments definitely whitened the paper, but in turn made the paper brittle. No surprise. I ended up with both staples popped, spine split, and paper chipping on the interior pages. That really hurts. I will probably not attempt to whiten an entire book again. Entire book. Far too much time invested for the end results. I also know when a book is not a good candidate for brightening. Best wishes, Jay Hayes. So that's the thing. I find that you'd think that the concentration of peroxide would make a big difference, and it does if you're using like 30%, but within the 1 to 6% range, it's all about the same. It's the repeated applications that'll do you in. And I try to, that's one of the reasons that I made the masks, is to try to lessen the amount of material that hits not necessarily the ink, but the pages too. I don't know that it helps. It just makes me feel better. In this case, it sounds like this book was really already very aged, and then he whitened the entire book, like every page. So that's a lot of time in a light box, and he popped staples. So it's hard to hear. It's bittersweet because it looks good, otherwise, but bitter, more bitter than sweet because he popped the staple, of course, but that can happen. It really can. And so you want to use a lighter touch with the pressing, of course, once you have used any of these methods. And I would say, even if you're not getting the whiteness that you want after the first application of peroxide, I might call it quits there. Just call that good and just count it as a loss. You can actually see the staples pop here in this image there. So it's just hard. So anyway, we want to thank Jay for sharing his experience with us. And that's all for today. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.